Right, so I'm here in Luoyang in Fujian province, and I'm with a guy that contacted me very recently. The guy's name's Jay. Turns out he's actually from very close to where I grew up, but his proposal that he told me about what he's doing just blew my mind. So I've actually had to come here and make a video about this. And so tell the guys what it is you're doing here.
Well, where do I start? I'm building China's biggest single malt whiskey distillery. I say I'm building. We're building.
You're driving it all there, right?
Yeah, I guess you could kind of call me the project manager, for want of a better word.
What made you embark on this project in the first place?
You know, I'm sure you can imagine lots of people around late at night on Friday evening drinking whiskey.
For sure.
A few tipples. What's the subject that always comes up every single time? Wouldn't it be amazing if we made our own whiskey? What would we do differently if we had our own distillery? How could we make a whiskey like that if we did it ourselves? And eventually that subject came up so much and just so many times. A few of us just said, well, you know, why don't we just take this seriously? Why don't we look into it? So after kind of working out that we thought we could do it, we then basically set up a company. We all chipped in a bit of money each. We ended up with a couple of million RMB. We then went around and started speaking to all the provincial governments around China to say, look, we want to do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were initially hit with a lot of resistance.
Of course. I mean,
you know, it's like, who are these bunch of jack the lads that think they know everything, but they're actually a startup and they want land and they think they can do whiskey and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it took a lot of time, and it also took a lot of support from, ironically, coming from a British guy, AmCham South China.
Okay.
So AmCham, being American Chamber of Commerce, is run by a gentleman called Dr. Harley Sayedi. Dr. Harley's been here, 3 decades and more, has some fantastic successes in this country, has some fantastic relationships, and after spending time with Dr. Harley to explain to him what we want to do and how we want to do it, and this is more than just, wet finger in the air and drunk guys in a pub with high aspirations, we've put all this R&D into it, and this is how we're going to approach it. With his endorsement and with his introductions, we were able to secure a piece of land and start doing what we're doing now, just out the window.
Yeah. Well, you took me around this morning. I'm obviously really gobsmacked by what you're doing, because it's not just a distillery he's building, it's a massive distillery. Yeah. It's actually bigger than some of the major drinks brands, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you compare it to the projects in China, so the Pernod Ricard, obviously Pernod, one of the biggest alcohol companies in the world, they've gone live with a 1 million LPA facility in Sichuan. So LPA being litres of pure alcohol.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you're flipping that into bottles of normal alcohol, 1 LPA, if you're looking at kind of 40% ABV, it's 2.5 litres of that.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it works. But the way to keep a consistent measurement across the entire industry is LPA, because some people might be bottling at this strength and casking at this strength and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so it's changing around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're 1 million LPA. Diageo, who are currently building in Yunnan province, they're rumoured to be doing about 2 million LPA. I mean, these are huge facilities, don't get me wrong. What we're building 7.5 million LPA.
Wow. I was gobsmacked. When you first told me that you're doing a distillery, I thought it'd be a couple of small rooms with a couple of stills in there and that. And like, I'm looking out there and I'm thinking, wow, this is like a major project. And what strikes me as unbelievable is that it would be hard to pull a project like that off. We're both from the UK. In the UK, speaking language, I know you're a bit similar to me. You don't speak a huge amount of Chinese. Yeah. And, we've grown up in different countries. We don't know all the rules and regulations and stuff like that. For you to pull off a project of this size here, I just think it's staggering,
Sure.
I really think I got a lot of respect for what you've done, because I know I've had experience in China where I've done sort of small-time manufacturing, and I know all the problems I've hit doing that. So to undertake a project like this, man, you must have balls of steel, man.
Well, it's a mixture of a few things. I mean, firstly, and kind of primarily, it's because there is an absolutely fantastic team behind it. The whole vision of this project was really, really simple. How can we do something so big on so little money? And that is because the investors are not just investors. everybody contributes something.
And you've got people from many different nationalities.
Oh yeah.
As well as locals, haven't you?
Yes. It's just 25 different countries, including China. But in terms of which nationality is the most people from, obviously Chinese.
Yeah.
You know, we are in every way a Chinese company, and I'm proud to be so.
Yeah, that's great.
But then also I think it's about picking the right people to work with.
For sure.
Because obviously we don't have all the shareholders coming down here with shovels and spades and, building trowels, but having a really good construction company, having an absolutely phenomenal architecture firm, you know, having all these key players, and you know, we've got a really good drilling company, which sounds bizarre, but because of where we are, you need to kind of drill down 40 meters deep to do all these kind of geological analysis, etc. And you know, drilling company are fantastic. The company that do the blueprints, which are just over there, it's a company called Shanghai Classic, absolutely fantastic. But I think we're blessed and lucky because I've heard so many horror stories, not just in China, but in many countries. You know, you got the wrong project manager or the wrong construction firm or the wrong materials. We've landed on our feet with that.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're here full time, aren't you, overseeing it all, which is a massive bonus.
100%. You could not be involved.
Because I guess you walk around every day and you look and make sure things are going how they should be.
Yeah, I'm on site at least 3 times a day. I mean, as you know, the site is 150 metres in that direction. And I've been here on and off for a couple of years, but I moved out here full time a year ago, February gone.
And when do you hope to have the buildings finished?
So the timeline as it is now, I mean, you've just seen it, obviously we're still pouring concrete and stuff. We'll have all of the concrete frames for 3 of the buildings completed by July. So we've got a big event in July, which obviously you're invited to.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I want to track the progress of this because I find it super interesting, you know, it's really good.
And then we'll have all of the physical construction done on those 3 buildings by the end of December. Then it will be equipment installations and test runs and pilots and things like that. And we're hoping the first spirit ready for barrels will be before the end of March next year.
Wow. And how many investors are there in total?
At the moment, there's 227.
At all various different levels.
Yeah, various different levels. So the current round of investment that we're running, the minimum investment is 26,070 RMB.
Okay.
Which sounds like a ridiculously odd number, but equates to the equivalent of 1,500 shares, a nice round number. Don't ask me what that is in sterling or dollars or euros. I've just been here too long. I just think of everything in RMB.
You're on the whole project. What do you think it will cost till you get to the point of built?
Well, it depends at which point you're talking about. So if you're talking about getting us to production with the 3 buildings that we're building, it's about 100 million RMB.
Okay.
To then add in the 4th building and get up to the complete capacity of 7.5 million LPA, it's about another 40 million. But that still only completes the first 4 buildings. So if you remember earlier on, I was explaining to you all the land to the west, that's already earmarked.
You want more warehousing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cask maturation warehouses. So we're going live with 1 cask maturation warehouse. We'll need another 16 because the amount of casks that we're going to be filling each year, it's about 50,000 casks a year.
Okay.
And that's why also to the side of it, that other piece of land that I showed you, which is where we're building the cooperage. So the cooperage will have a capacity of about 100,000 barrels a year. 50,000 we will use for 9 Rivers, and the other 50,000 we will sell into the local industry, whether that's other whiskey projects or some of the vineyards, because obviously China's exploding with wine right now.
For
it's
sure.
really cool. And then obviously to lead our cooperage, again, bringing in the very best people that you possibly can make sense. So we've got a gentleman called Stuart McPherson, who spent 43 years at Macallan and was Macallan's Master of Wood.
Okay, so he knows his stuff.
I think it's fair to say he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, an absolute genius of a guy. But he's also really down to earth and really interesting and really cool to work with. We've done a couple of videos about him ourselves on our own YouTube channel. Which
just a matter of interest. Jay puts very regular updates on your YouTube channel. So if you are interested in following the story, go over to his channel and have a look, subscribe. It'd be lovely to get him up to like 1,000 subscribers or more. So go and subscribe, and you can keep an eye on the progress. I know you upload quite a lot of videos, don't you, of like the building and that. And obviously as time goes on, it will get even more and more interesting as equipment's installed and all that kind of thing. So yeah, go and check the channel out, and I'll leave a link in the description.